Hello and welcome to an album ranking. And today we are doing Bathory. And I don't know if I'll be doing more of these or not. I mean, I will if people want it, but this is just for fun currently. And if you and of course if you clicked on here, you know who Bathory is, so I don't need to explain them. And I'm gonna go through all the albums, and I'm gonna tell you what I like about, or mainly on the bottom ones, what I'll tell you what I dislike them because they're not that good. Like at least like the bottom three aren't, or I'm like, yeah, not. I want to add it to my like playlist or anything. All right, so number 12 is Octagon. The problem with this album is the production. The production is complete ass. The drums sound like a machine gun, especially the snare. And Quorthon's vocals on this album are not that good either. They're not that good on like any of the thrash albums besides like the Black and Thrash of the self-titled album. And the riffs on this album aren't that good either. Like the only good song on Octagon is Born to Die, and that's like the only song that has riffs that I'm like, okay, okay. But otherwise, the album's a 2 out of 10 for me, really. And next we have Requiem. This is a little better than Octagon, but it still suffers from the same things Octagon did, which was the production, mostly the drums. The drums sound pretty empty to me, and also Quorthon's vocals on this album still aren't good. Um, the riffs, on the other hand, are way better. But me personally, I would not see myself listening to this album in my rotation of listening. And number 10 is Destroyer of Worlds. So this album is kind of weird. Like some songs have a, a different production on it. Like there are a couple songs where the vocals are super quiet, and then there's a track where there's like an effect in like a vocal effect. I forget what the tracks they are, but I think one might be Crom, but it doesn't really sound like Quorthon, so I have no idea if that's actually him or not. Some good songs. There are some good songs on here, like Kill Kill Kill, Ode. Those are my top two on that album. And also the vocals. Quorthon suffers a little bit on this album. It's a little bit better than Requiem and Octagon, like a little bit, but not much that I can say that would put this album at like the top five or anything. And number nine, where we get into the Viking stuff, is Blood on Ice. Now, people like really like this album. It has never like grabbed my attention because of like when I listen to metal, I listen to riffs, and I have a certain taste in riffs, and this one did not grab me like at all. But I do appreciate the acoustics in this one. I like the acoustic guitar parts. The songwriting is all right, and again, his vocals aren't my favorite, but they're better than the previous albums that I've talked about. And number eight is Twilight of the Gods. People like to say this is a better Hammerheart. In my opinion, I don't agree really because the long songs are a little a little. Actually I think there's only one like really long song, which is like 10 minutes. It's a little boring, and the riffs in this album I don't get either. But this album does have a beautiful atmosphere. It feels so like peaceful, like the album cover shows. All right. So in number seven we have Nordland One. Now a lot of people prefer this over Nordland Two, which I can get because there are a lot of there are a bunch of bangers on this one. But like there are also like really good melodies in this album. I think it's after the chorus of Winterblot that goes duh or something like that. And also, The Great Hall Awaits Fallen Brother has a really fast paced like riffage, and that I love that song. That song is probably my favorite off that album. And let's see, number five. I might get killed for this one, but it's The Return. It was ironic because like the few like the other black metal albums, they weren't produced in like an actual studio. They were in that like garage studio. And The Return is the only one that was in an actual studio. Now I went back and listened a little bit, and it sounds a lot better than the last time I listened to it. But there are a lot of songs on there that don't really hit me as hard as the older albums that are gonna come up here in a second. It has good songs, and out of out of all the black metal albums, this one has the best production, but it kind of suffers from all the songs that don't really catch my attention. But some like but Born for Burning is like the best song on off the album. That song is like so good. I actually did a full cover of that song because of how good it was. And number five, I also might get killed for this one. It's Under the Sign. Okay, so this album has some really good songs like Call from the Grave, Enter Eternal Fire, Acromanthorn, 13 Candles, and Of Doom. That is the meat. That is the meat of that album, in my opinion. The rest of the songs, like Massacre, I feel like are filler tracks, and they're just eh. That one, especially that one. That one was eh. And the production on this album. Oh wait, I forgot to mention Woman of Dark Desires is also like the meat of the album. So like 80% of the album, but this album also has like very like in between production. That means like some songs like you can clearly hear the riff, but the riff in like Woman of Dark Desires, I didn't know how it went until I heard like a cover of it. So the production is not that good, really. But I also praise this album for like being one of the early I call it the early second wave album in the 80s because it's basically the blueprint of what the 90s black metal artists is will bring. So anyway, next is Blood Fire Death. Now, A Fine Day to Die puts us at number like in the top five period. That song is absolutely fantastic. The production of this album is way better than Under the Sign in my opinion. Quorthon's vocals are great. Oh yeah, in the black metal era, his vocals are great. I don't have a complaint about his vocals at all in the black metal era because I loved his black metal vocals. I don't really have much to say about Blood, Fire, Death. It's just they have really good songs, um, and the production is better, and that's all I really have to say about it. All right, number three, Norland 2. Now this is this album is just fantastic. Like the Silver Hammer or the Flash of the Silver Hammer is like such an underrated Bathory song, and Vinland is gotta be my favorite track off that album. That especially the chorus. The chorus is just fantastic. Um, most people prefer Northern One again, but I prefer Northern Three because of the songs on it. And yeah, that's about all I have for that. Number two is the self-titled album, Bathory. Now, this album has kind of bad production, but the songs on this album are just so strong, like Necromancy and Sacrifice and Raise the Dead. Like like I find myself coming back to that album more than I found myself coming back to that album more than some of the Viking stuff like Twilight, Northern One, and stuff like that. The songs on this album are just so strong, and for some, I don't know if it's me, but there are a couple songs on there that sound like a lot bigger than like the rest of the songs, like Sacrifice. For some reason, Sacrifice sounds like way bigger, and it just punches you in the face. It's so great. And also, Necromancy is was an inspiration for War by Burzum, which I like to make fun of my girlfriend for, like, hey, look. Every time she listens to that song, we're like, hey, look, it's Necromancy, because he literally takes the riff from Necromancy and like makes a variation of it and puts it in his song. So yeah, this is my second favorite Bathory album. Number one, and I'm sure some of you saw this coming. It is Hammerheart, and the reason for that being is because the songwriting in this album is fantastic. Like Shores and Flames, the acoustic intro, and and uh, and Corthon's like vocal melodies are just I love it so much. Now I know what you're thinking, like, hey, Corthon's vocals aren't great on this one either. Yes, but here's the thing: compared to the other ones, like the other um, Viking albums, this one has like a gritty sound to it, a gritty production to it, and his vocals here sound super. They sound super appropriate because, like, of course, a Viking can't. Well, I imagine like Vikings not being able to sing well, so they sound like very gritty and not like properly singing. And my favorite song off this album is "Follow the Sun," mainly because of that, maybe because of that thundering riff after the intro, and and a song to haul up high is a great ballad. It sounds like a church song, even though it's not, but it's great. So yeah, that was my Bathory ranking, and I hope you guys enjoyed and didn't get annoyed at my stuttering. So thank ya.